Hello, welcome to the LongBox Paradox, episode 104. I'm Dan, and as always, joined by Jennifer. Comic books will break your heart on Instagram. Comics will break your heart on YouTube, which you have not posted a video in, except for your little stream with Mars in quite a while.
Yeah, I seriously have so many videos that I want to do. I want to do a Swamp Thing video, doing a history of Swamp Thing, and I want to do Wonder Woman, which is a lot of DC titles. I don't know why. And then just random stuff, but then I never get around to it or I start it. Editing is weird. I would much rather just go live because then I just go live and I don't think about it. So, yeah.
A little bit of housekeeping at the front of the show. So for those who watch the Dune Over, we're taking the week off for Thanksgiving. We got way too much stuff going on. And the good news is, though, the next week we're doing it at Wednesday at 5 or 5:30. We'll have a definite time.
5 or 5:30
p.m. Eastern.
Eastern time. So then that would be 2 o'clock my time.
We're going to finish the rest of the book. So it'll be about 150-page read, 160. But over 2 weeks, that's...
Oh, for sure. And I think at this point, for anyone who's been watching the Dune streams or has read it, whatever, that's pretty easy considering that there's a lot of stuff that happens. And I feel like not necessarily that it goes to 0 from 100, but the last third of the book, the Prophet, does go from 25 to 100. So I think it's a good place to just go ahead and finish it. And then that way we can, 1, do our community theater production of Dune. And then 2, maybe get into Dune Messiah, right? Oh, so you bought the Dune Messiah.
I went one further.
You got Children of Dune? Okay, hold on.
I got new versions.
Give me 20 seconds.
Hello, Tony. How are you doing?
I don't know if anyone counted that. I don't know if it was 20 seconds. I assume it was relatively not that long because I have a tiny apartment and I can just be like, beep, 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 beep. But anyways, so I have here, I've got Dune Messiah and Children of Dune, some rusty old copies. I also do have God Emperor of Dune here, but then I've got the new versions. But of course, because there are these tiny little things, I feel like I'm spoiled. I'm a spoiled brat, if anyone couldn't tell. And I was looking at
the big version of this. It was $9 on Amazon. So
I'm trying to do as little shopping on Amazon. I mean, just because I have a really sweet bookstore
I don't have one near me.
10 minutes from me, so I get it. However, because I'm a spoiled brat, especially when it comes to books, I'm I need the new versions of these, and I was looking at how pretty the new versions are, so I may go ahead and just
they look like Penguin Classics.
Yeah, so they're beautiful, and I was looking at them, and I'm like, man, do I really need a third copy of this fucking book? And I think the answer is yes. However, as anyone who is watching our Dune stream knows, I've got a bone to pick with Jim Tierney, the cover designer for here. Jim, you done better on those other.
The cover of God Emperor is trash. The new version, I don't like it.
They're beautiful, but at the same time, a little bit inaccurate. So anyways, watch our stream to find out more why I have a bone to pick with the cover artist.
Also, tomorrow is the Ink Panels Graphic Novel Book Club reconvening again, and it is Sandman Volume 1, Preludes and Nocturnes. That is at 6 p.m. tomorrow with John's Comics with Kids, That Comic Girl, Cartoon Sid. Oh God, how did I forget that one?
Yeah.
Just woke up. Also, we have on Thanksgiving, we are doing a live show for people like us who don't have our families.
Yeah.
And we're drinking.
I understand if you do have your families. However, people should also
I
be
can't.
social distancing. Hi, Cam. People should also be social distancing. And I know it's tough for people who still have family around, but what's tougher is having a family member in the ICU and they die on you in a COVID unit and they die without seeing any of their friends and family as they die from COVID. So if you don't want that to happen a couple weeks after Thanksgiving, consider skipping in-person Thanksgiving this year. A couple family members, people related, have caught COVID recently, and it sucks and it's stupid. So my little PSA, join us virtually on Thanksgiving, and we'll be giving some stuff away. I have a ton of stuff I want to give away, like maybe to 10 different people. I have enough stuff to get rid of and give away. So join us on Thanksgiving to get drunk, talk comics. We can talk about the history of Thanksgiving and colonialism.
We
Because
had one good. We're celebrating one good day with the Native Americans. One good day.
Oh, it wasn't though. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, watch me get drunk and talk politics, but this bitch does it sober. So get ready. We'll probably just talk about comics.
Also, big news and bad for theaters. Wonder Woman 1984 is coming out straight to HBO Max.
Yeah.
So totally worth now having that $7 a month to get Wonder Woman 84 instead of like Disneying it with Mulan and paying $20.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of excited about it. I know there's a lot of people who are really excited about like whatever Snyder cut is coming out and whatever. Like I'll see it, but I'm not excited about it. And to be honest, I'm excited to just see like a new big blockbuster movie. But if it's anything like the Wonder Woman 84 comic book that I read, I'm not. I really hope not because I didn't love it. But
Kristen Wiig is Cheetah. I'm in to watch it.
100%. Like I'm in it for that. I'm in it for Gal Gadot. Bring it on.
Also Pedro Pascal, Oberyn, the Mandalorian. I became a fan of his playing Oberyn the Red Viper.
Mm-hmm.
He was the definition of pansexual.
Yes, in Game of Thrones for sure. So pansexual icon there. Thank you for that beautiful representation. I feel seen.
So theaters are reacting to what's going on with that, and that might be the death knell.
Mm-hmm. I think that they could offer something like, pay $30 to see it in home or to buy it, but then maybe $5 to see it in theater. Like you have to give an incentive to go see it cheaper. But even though that feels irresponsible to go and do, I say that while also saying that if they charged me $100 to have a theater by myself to watch Dune, I would do it in a heartbeat.
WB, I know you're watching Legendary Pictures. Just putting it out there, I would pay upwards of $30 to watch Dune at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Easy. Give me like strict, you only have 24 hours to watch it. I would be like, here, shut up and take my money.
Give me 5 hours.
Yeah. Give me 5 hours to watch the Dune movie, like without being able to pause and go to the bathroom. I'll do the real fucking experience. Bitch, like charge me $10 and send me some shitty popcorn. I'll do it. I'll
and
add
also,
it on, man.
Also, I'll just put out there, you're going to get a shitload of free promotion from us. Because, like, literally would go on and live stream right after watching and be like, listen.
Yeah. To be honest, I probably at this point, it's going to take a really, 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 really shitty Dune movie for me to trash talk it in public. If it's a bad movie, I might talk to maybe like 2 people and be like, it really sucked. But everyone else, I'm going to be like, yeah, I loved it. Because in all reality, I do want to see a second movie. And I want to see all the spinoffs. I want to see the Bene Gesserit spinoff. I just want to see all of it. So
Sid and I were talking after one of the live streams for Dune. And I was talking about Blade Runner 2049. She goes, it was a beautiful movie, but it was fucking boring. And I was like,
I think that in my opinion, if you hold up those same standards to the original movie, you're going to get the same. Like, it was beautifully done. I think that it had the right atmosphere, But there's boring parts. Speaking of movies, I watched New Mutants.
Missed opportunity.
Did you watched it?
I did.
Okay. So my professional opinion is that there were moments in it that I wanted to love so hard, and I didn't. I It wasn't written well. There were moments
No,
that were written well, like the moments
it didn't know what it
between.
wanted to be.
No, I think they knew that from the beginning, and I wish that they would have just released an even shittier version of it like years ago.
There
To
was
be
only one
completely
thing
honest.
that really like captured my attention. And I don't know why, but it was Magic with her little
Mm-hmm.
hand puppet Lockheed.
Mm-hmm. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, is that Lockheed? And then there was something else that happened in the movie, and I'm like, wait, and maybe it was just because maybe I was inebriated, but whatever. It
I
happens.
also like I thought the kissing scene in it. I don't want to spoil it for any. I thought it was a little forced.
I loved it. I thought that there was obviously like a tense moment between them, and I'm like, is this going to happen? Is it not going to happen? And I'm glad that it happened. That was actually one of the only enjoyable parts of the movie for me, where I'm
I thought
like,
that was clumsily written.
I think that it wasn't that part. I think that it was just the whole movie wasn't that great, and that was one of like the shiny parts of it, but the rest was dull.
Yeah,
That moment deserved a better movie overall, and we didn't get it.
I
So,
kept picking up my phone and looking at it, which is always a bad sign.
yep, same.
Hello, Todd. Thank you for joining us. Um,
I'd love to know anyone else who like it in the comments if they've seen it. If anyone else has any other opinions, I hope we don't ruin the movie for people. But
so so what made me buy it, I think, was Anna Taylor-Joy,
oh, for
because
sure.
I was completely like when I first saw her on screen as Magic in the commercials and the trailers, I was like, okay, like I think I'm okay with this now. It's not who I originally would have cast, but her accent she was doing was a little community theater at times.
So was oh my god, Boy from Kentucky.
Oh yeah,
There
the
and
different
so
Greener things.
I know that like I know I come across as a shitty person when I say this, but I grew up in the South and in like South Florida. Then I moved to like, some other areas that were a lot more rural. And I sometimes will end up having a twang in my voice. And Southern accents hit me really hard. And maybe it's just from having negative experiences in the South and with people from the South that I'm just like, it hurts my ears sometimes. So hearing that bad accent that he did, I was like, so that was one of the parts of the movie that felt like you said community theater. I remember when I did live in rural North Florida, we put on a play. We did Steel Magnolias, and it that accent probably would have gotten a lot of feedback from the director of.
So I thought Maisie Williams didn't really have enough to do in the movie. Like she was promoted. I didn't really think she had any standout scenes. Really,
I Once again underutilized, but I think that's just it felt low budget, like totally community theater, low budget. Maybe the spirit was there a little bit with some of the acting, but the storyline was messy.
hella
Wah,
messy.
wah.
So let's get to the comics now that we've done movie talk. But New Mutants was one of those ones that like it was coming out. It wasn't. It 5 years I think we waited for this damn movie.
Yeah. Okay, so I just have to say, I'm kind of proud of myself because I've been getting my comic books like either late Wednesday or later in the week on Thursday and Friday. And this week, I actually, not only did I get my comic books early, I actually started reading them early. I read all of my comic books, and with the exception of one, I bagged and boarded them all. So I really just have to like shout out to myself. I know that's like a stupid pat on the back, but as someone who has a perpetual to be read pile and like to be organized pile, I'll take it as a win.
So, as always, we're going to start out with Ten of Swords.
This week, for me, I'm not sure about you. I heard a lot of hype from this week, and like a lot of people said that it was really, really, really good, and there were some great moments.
John said compared to the week before, it was great.
Compared to the week before, complete 180. I still didn't like love this week because it felt choppy to me. So anyways, I still loved a lot of moments, but it felt disorganized. It's weird to think that we only have 2 more weeks left, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because there's 2 issues next week and then 22 the week after issued. So X-Force, we finally got the magic showdown with Pog, which
Pog.
Which she found out what Pog means in Arakoan and
Sword. Is
yes,
that what it meant? Sword.
yes.
Yeah.
Interesting kind of match. There was a part where they wanted to kill a kitten in X-Force. They wanted War and Captain Avalon. You still call him Captain Britain.
Yeah.
We get the death showdown with Storm.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. They don't really reveal his power still, what happens when he takes his helmet off, but, stuff happened. It was an okay issue. It wasn't great, but it had a lot going on.
Yeah. To me, like even thinking now, I'm doing the thing where I'm like, wait, what happened in which episode or in which issue? And I mean, that should be easy because like Cable, Hellions, whatever. Hellions was the weird one for me. Like I
Hellions
liked
should
it.
not exist. The book had nothing to really do with the Ten of Swords.
No, like it comes in like later on, but I think what ends up happening is that there was a moment in Hellions where I'm like, wait, let me just get back to the storyline and let me figure what's going on with Apocalypse. Isn't that what's going on? And so then, spoiler alert, that's what happened in. I mean, well, sorry, big spoiler alert. Apocalypse, finally comes to a showdown. So I'm glad that we are going back to that storyline or hopefully wrapping it up. But
I like that he's just like, let's just get on with this.
Yeah. Cable, out of the 3, Cable was definitely my favorite.
Also, the White Sword kind of showing his power to resurrect his 100.
Mm-hmm. That was really interesting. And then, so spoiler alert for anyone who's listening, watching, whatever, smelling, touching. If you're not reading this, you probably know, like what we've been talking about. There's a big sword battle going on between 10 people on each side, Araco and Krakoa. And up until here, Araco, Arakoa, I'm totally butchering.
Yeah, they were lapping them,
yeah.
just destroying them.
Oh yeah, completely destroying Krakoa, and then at the last minute, they kind of pull it through, and now it's even. So seriously though, I do have to talk about this because Cable was my favorite issue. We really see Cable, like his entire run of books has been just Cable is a fuck boy. He doesn't care. But then there's this really emotional moment where he calls for his dad and then he talks to his mom. That was really adorable.
Well, also he hesitates with Doug's wife.
Yeah.
Where he has the sword, he has it, and he's like, he hesitated, and it was just like, nope.
Yeah.
Gorgon was the real MVP of this issue.
Oh my god, yeah, for sure.
That was awesome. Yeah. Overall, I think it's like a 7.
This trio, this trifecta of swords, or like just Cable in general.
Just the whole what came out this week.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So the 3. I think that I would probably give an 8, which is probably my version of a 7.
Oh, Mike. again, like finally at the end, I'm like, all right, we're here. Like Cable's just like, all right, this is whatever. Not Cable. Apocalypse like this is what everybody came for. Like let's just get on with it.
Yeah. Sorry, I just have to go ahead and like double down on what Alexander is saying. Same here. Fucking hated Doomsday Clock. Like so many things about it. Not only how long it took for it to come out, and I don't know. Just have to double down on. I just didn't enjoy Doomsday Clock.
Doomsday Clock made me hate superheroes. I only like them when they're dark and depressing.
If you're I know I've said it on the show before, if you're experiencing that superhero fatigue where you're like, I feel like I've seen every superhero story there is to tell, and you know, you can make it dark and you can make it gritty. If you haven't already, I highly recommend Black Hammer, which could, you know, so if you haven't read Black Hammer, I highly recommend it. And interesting segue into maybe some of the books of this week. We did get a new Black Hammer book.
So let's go ahead and get into our picks.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I mean, I have obviously a lot more than 3 picks, but I will go ahead and I know that we briefly talked about it. Barbalian, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the Colonel Weird a little bit more, but knowing a little bit about this character and then just getting a little bit more into that, this was perfect. It felt really relevant.
It was very
Loved it.
It was very emotional.
Yes.
And it doubles down on something from the first volume of Black Hammer with the interaction between him and his partner, and now we're doing the after it already happened, where they kind of dove into it real quick in volume 1, and then they didn't after that. Like they just left it as, you know, this weird moment that happened.
Yeah.
And seeing what was going on his planet, I really thought it was very well written. No, it doesn't have the cosmic weirdness of Colonel Weird, and it shouldn't.
No, because you're right. Like you know, you said that it's a completely different book. I still think that the level of connection that I felt with Colonel Weird was a little bit more so.
Black Hammer is a universe and a single title.
Yep. So there is the crossover with Justice League,
Yes.
and then there are a couple of other spin-offs. But I think that in order to enjoy the newer books that are coming out, like Colonel Weird and Barb Alien, you could probably read the first just 1 or 2 trades of Black Hammer and totally jump right in.
I don't think Iron Man sucked.
You know, I'm in that superhero fatigue where I'm usually not going to pick up an Iron Man title, and maybe my my filter is that we've seen a lot from Iron Man already. I would like to see more obscure characters and let Iron Man just kind of be one of those background characters, and see a little bit more focus. I don't think Iron Man needs a main title right now, but could definitely is a great supporting cast member. But I don't know if we need another title from him.
Well, I don't think Iron Man, like, he's definitely one of the characters you don't need more than one title. And
No.
Again, it's another book they keep rebooting. A lot of these, like, I thought it was a big mistake when they rebooted Miss Marvel and changed the branding to the Magnificent Miss Marvel, which just
is that because I know that they're
the book was too new to reboot that quick.
Yeah, because it was G. Willow Wilson doing it, and then it got not redone, but I think
restarted, I guess, would
restarted
be a better
by what's the other author that took it over?
I can't remember.
I can't recall.
It hasn't been great. I think it was Anaki Miranda.
Maybe. So, anyways, yeah, I agree. I think that she deserved a little bit more of a solid run, but I still really enjoyed G. Willow Wilson's run.
I had
Saladin Ahmed. Okay.
okay.
Yeah, I haven't been picking that up, so I'll have to catch it in trade, even though I think that it just ended, maybe. But
I had an 8.5 on Barbalian.
okay, I would probably say 7.5 for me, which is a little bit low, but I still really enjoyed it. But I'm probably comparing it too much to Colonel Weird.
Possibly.
Yeah. Do you have a next? Oh, sorry. Okay. Do you have a next pick? trying to point at you.
Let me do them scroll real fast. I was weirdly not ready.
No, that's okay. I want to go ahead and I'm not sure if you can see some of these comments. Todd says, Magnificent Miss Marvel is really good. Saladin Ahmed is doing an excellent job. And then Alexander says, I hate Marvel so much and their garbage movies ruined Hollywood. And inspired trash like Doomsday Clock and The Three Jokers. So I still like the Marvel universe, but I totally agree with like 0 out of 10 Doomsday Clock, 0 out of 10 Three Jokers.
So the Hollywood didn't inspire Doomsday Clock. Alan Moore fetishism inspired those two. Three Jokers is a love letter to basically to The Killing Joke by Alan Moore, which even Alan Moore later kind of disowned.
Yeah.
Have there been Hollywood interpretations? Yes, but not inspired by them. Again, Marvel, their movies, they're comfort food, basically. You go
100%.
It's disposable media. You kind of forget about the world for a little bit. Are they high art? No. Crap. Oh god. Seven to Eternity. Number 14. So right away, they have to do a page explaining to you what happened before.
Okay.
And because it's been on a long hiatus, long.
2 years, 3 years.
At least a year.
I stopped reading Seven to Eternity. To me, hiatuses in comic books will now only be measured by saga. Like, is it one saga hiatus? Is it half of a saga hiatus?
We don't know what the saga hiatus is.
We don't know yet. We are in the that's the cure to 2020 is bring back saga and whatever else is written in Jerusalem by Alan Moore, but no one's read it, so we don't know.
The art by Jerome Opina continues to be very impressive in the book.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I missed much because of the first page. I'm gonna give it a 7 because I don't want to talk too much detail.
7 to Eternity scale. 7 on a scale of sorry.
Sid's gonna watch this, so she hasn't read it yet, so I don't want to ruin anything for her. I really enjoyed it. And after Scumbag, I kind of needed something good by him.
I know that I took the beginning of this episode to pat myself on the back, but I want to go ahead and do it again. And because I feel like at this point our brand has become, notorious. We're famous for hate reading books. And this week I actually resisted Scumbag number 2 as well as Stillwater number 3. I did not pick up either book.
Scumbag's next week.
Oh, is it? Okay, well, I didn't pick it up. Maybe it was on my list for some reason, but I managed to not pick up books that I didn't like.
So
I'm sorry. It wasn't Scumbag. It was Rorschach number 2, which I did not like number 1 at all, and I didn't pick up Stillwater number 3. Those were the 2 books that I didn't like from last month that I just didn't.
So 100%, I don't need any more DC touching Alan Moore's books.
No.
HBO's Watchmen, I've not finished yet, just because.
Yes.
I have to be in a mood.
Thank you. man, seriously, I think now you could be possibly, maybe, I don't know. It's brilliant. It's rough there at the beginning, like with some of those themes, especially when it was coming out. But man, Watchmen is so good. It's so good. It's so good.
Tom King's Rorschach, I haven't read issue 2, and issue 1 was just trying too hard.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I want DC to just leave Alan Moore's stuff alone, especially when it comes to Watchmen.
I'm gonna get under a blanket. Leave Alan alone.
You gotta have some runny eyeliner too.
Oh, for sure.
Your next book.
Sorry. Okay. I know my next book. I don't even know if you probably did get this one digitally. But I know that your shop doesn't carry a lot of independent stuff. But boy, howdy, was this a good title. A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night.
The novel. I've read the novel.
Okay.
And I watched the movie.
I have not watched the movie. I have not read the novel, but boy, howdy, this was a good comic. And I really hope it says #1. I really hope that it's not a one shot. This one's going on my pull list because seriously though, this was so freaking good. I enjoyed this one so much. A Girl
Read
Walks...
the novel.
Okay. And watch the movie as well? Or
read the novel.
Okay.
The movie's not bad, but I thought that the book was really good.
Okay. It was really good. For anyone who is not aware of what's going on, is that it's a woman who a vampire monster person, and she is taking revenge, avenging the bad things that are happening to people, and man, this was really good. The artwork was very, very simple, which I liked, because I think if the artwork had been like a Marvel style or anything like that, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it. It's also, so it's done by Behemoth Comic Books or Behemoth Comics, whoever this may be. I'm not too familiar with this title, but every time I see Behemoth, I'm like, ooh, the band. It is not the band Behemoth, but I still really enjoyed. I love Behemoth, the band. So catch me rocking out to that satanic stuff. But anyways, I'm very unfamiliar with this publisher, and this makes me want to check out more. So.
Oh God, I was just there on it, and I scrolled past the son of a
9.5 out of 10, if that wasn't clear enough. I don't know if a book will ever be like a real like rockin' 10, and maybe it could just depend on the week. But this one was a solid 9.5 out of 10.
A book that we've been discussing for a long time now, Die Number 15 came out.
Yes, it did.
And definitely hammering home the end is nigh.
I really, really, really hope so.
It's getting messy.
It is. And, I think that one of the reasons why it feels like...
This issue in particular to me felt extra messy.
I think for me, the reason why it feels so messy is because we have dialogue and we have inner thoughts going on. And I think that we could completely cut out the inner thought monologue, the inner monologue, and it would be a much more enjoyable book.
I also liked finding out what Izzy gave up so that the child could be born. There's some interesting things in it. The revelation from Saul, again, we're just like revealing stuff left and right about the world, and Matthew is way more powerful than anybody knew, apparently. Now he has two weapons.
Oh my goodness, that moment where they're like, why do you have 2 swords?
You're like, you almost went insane from just one last time, so like, what are you doing? And they're like, this world made you murder. No, I didn't. My friends made me a murderer.
And so anyways, I don't want to like spoil it, but he finds out something in the previous issue that really just enrages him, and he's going through some stuff which carries into this issue. but I feel like they used that against him, where like it was almost like a shitty thing to do, but they knew that they needed to do it. So this is a really good issue. I really I feel like for me to keep enjoying the series, it needs to go 5 more issues. It needs to end at issue 20. And I need it to be wrapped up. Otherwise, this is probably going to come off my pull list.
Well, if it's going till 25, I know you're stubborn and we'll go till 25.
Yes, probably, but I really think that this series, I'd rather it die a hero than live long enough to become the villain. Just let die a good death.
So here's the question. Would you be okay if it does run 25? This is just spitballing here.
Mm-hmm.
That they are out of the world by issue 20? They're out of the world of Die, and the last 5 issues are them wrapping up their lives, going back to the other world?
I think that I would be okay with that. I think that I would be even better if maybe it ended at issue 20, but then just did one shot.
Fair enough.
Like if they maybe just did like, a final arc, and then maybe did an extra big, like instead of like 20 or 30 page issue, maybe if they did a 40 or 50 page issue of like a one shot of them resolving all their shit that is left for them in the real world. Because for all we know, they could go back because they left the world in 2019. They could be coming back into the world in 2021, and they're like, why the fuck is everyone wearing masks? So they could end up pulling something like that on us, and then they have to like figure out what the cure for 2020 is.
I thought Stephanie Hahn's art wasn't as crisp either in this.
Yeah.
It looked far more looser than normal, like just
that makes sense. Loose, yeah.
Messy. 7.5 on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like not too good, not too great. Like just good enough. And that is your pick now.
Okay. So I think my pick, and I feel like I don't know how I actually feel about this title. I know that I'm in it for a wild ride. I feel like this could easily be something that was done by Alejandro Jodorowsky, and that is A Dark Interlude, published by Vault Comics. This was so wacky and so weird. I seriously have no clue what the hell is going on. I know that it's beautiful. I know that the story has a point, but it reminds me if Jonathan Hickman was writing a really weird science fiction fantasy story that jumped around timelines, and I really enjoyed this title. Like I said, I have no clue what's going on. There's like an author involved and some muses, but then there's this person with a cube on fire for a head. Seriously, it's weird, but I really like it. And it's by Vault, so I feel like I trust it at this point because I've been really loving a lot of Vault titles. Sorry, 8.5 out of 10.
I did not even see that one coming out. I knew nothing about it.
I knew nothing about it either, other than it was published by Vault Comics and it was a #1 issue. I saw it on the shelf and I'm like, okay, I'll go ahead and pick it up. Seriously, fantastic read. I don't know what's going on, but I have faith and I trust the writer that they know what's going on and that they're going to tell me what's going on. And this isn't like the feeling when I read Stillwater or I read Scumbag, where I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And those are by writers that are very well known. I can't even think about anything else that I've written or read by this writer. So this one has a plan. It's taking me on a trip. I don't know if that trip is with like Hunter S. Thompson or whomever, but man, it's good.
For mine, I've got Something is Killing the Children, number 12. Yes.
Please no spoilers, because for some crazy reason I didn't get that with my stuff this week.
This was an issue that had a little bit of everything in it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a little bit of revelation stuff about the monsters. We get to see the White Masked Order of St. George in action and an explanation of kind of what they do when they're called into a town.
Okay.
It was a lot going on. Strong issue, though. 8.5.
Nice.
Like, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's that weird thing with James Tynion where there's certain books where, like, he really shines on, and this is one of them.
Yeah. I definitely not necessarily that he's an underrated writer, but I definitely think that he's excuse me, underrated on how many different stories that he can write, because he can do stuff like Batman, and then like he did Punchline, and then he can do stuff like Wind. I know I wanted to hate Punchline so bad, and I actually enjoyed it, so I'm gonna keep picking it up. So yeah, I feel like he's underappreciated in some ways, at least for his indie stuff. So I hope that more people end up picking his indie stuff up.
And to you now.
Let me go ahead and pick something that I don't think that I have one that like I said, I have so much, and I'll probably end up going on like a just rant, like maybe a Hickman dump on the stuff that I got. But one that I got was Star Trek Voyager #1. Really surprised that I really enjoyed this, because several of the other Star Trek titles, just like I picked up year 5, and by page 2, I'm like, this is dumb. They basically pulled a pearl necklace Batman type thing. Like literally on the first or second page, they have Spock going, yes, that's logical. And it just felt so forced. And I'm like, really? Like, whoever that writer was, like, you are getting a chance to write some of the most classic Star Trek characters, and you can't think of anything for Spock to say other than, that's logical. Like, come on. So anyways, that's what I was expecting out of this. Like, I literally went into this expecting for Janeway to be like, there's coffee in that nebula, and didn't. And this was really good. I'm going to put this on my pull list, and I'm going to get every single issue that I can, and I'm going to probably also get the trade, because I really freaking enjoyed it, and I really freaking love Star Trek. And I think that if you like Discovery, you will like this. If you're watching Discovery, I also think that if you liked Picard, there are going to be some moments in this book that you really, really appreciate. So if you're a Star Trek fan, from another Star Trek fan, highly recommend. I would give it a 7 on a scale of 7. Get it? Do you guys get it?
7 out of 9?
No, it's still just 7 out of 7, because fuck 9. Just 7 out of 7.
So Ice Cream Man issue 21 came out. Ice Cream Man continues to be one of those books that is fucking weird, out there, and I'm here for it. Like, it just... The self-contained stories, the weirdness of these self-contained stories.
Yeah.
This time it was with Ice Cream Men being kidnapped by a cult. Like, just weird shit. Like... The guy's being crucified on a giant ice cream cone. Like, just weird fucking shit. Like,
I think that, like, the cool thing about Ice Cream Man is that you don't have to, like, read all of them. You do need to read some of them to kind of, like, get a little bit of the weirdness. I would say if you can pick up volume 1, but you don't have to be obligated to pick up, like, all of the issues in order to just be able to pick one up off the shelf. And I wish it branded itself that way. I think that Ice Cream Man would be a lot more recognized as a title if they let people know, like, these are kind of one shots. You don't have to read the whole thing. You don't have to have read like issues 1 through 20, right?
No. There's one issue where they actually go into the Ice Cream Man's origin somewhat, and that's the only one I think is like a key issue.
Yeah.
But other than that, 7.5 out of 10. Again, it's just an enjoyable book, and it's one that you could just pick up, read, like, enjoy the weirdness, put down, and King of Nowhere was another book like that, that was like an ongoing story somewhat, but you picked it up and you were just like, this is fucking weird, but then you kept reading it.
King of Nowhere blew me away. Obviously we're getting towards the end of a year, and I'm thinking of what were the best stories that I read this year. King of Nowhere easily near the top.
Year go.
Okay. Do you want me to like keep going, or do you just want me to do a dump on everything that I got? Or do one by one?
So I've got like one more after. So do
Okay.
one, I'll do one,
Okay.
and then we can do like just the
I know
dump.
which one you're gonna do, so I'll go ahead and but anyways, Devil's Red Bride #2 came out. I think that
I didn't get it.
I really loved the first issue of this. Once again, another great vault title. This was the only one that I actually didn't bag, because typically what I'll do, come on, buddy, come up here. So I'm trying to get my, okay, you coming up? You joining me? Okay. Sorry. I usually double bag. So like I'll go ahead and put one on the other end, two on the others. And I didn't have issue #1 to like bag in front of me. So anyways, Devil's Red Bride, I really enjoyed. We learn a little bit more. We're going more into, sorry, everyone. We're going a little bit more into what's going on. So anyways, I really enjoyed this. I really recommend people put this on their on their pull list if you have one with your shop.
What's up, Rod?
Hi, Rod. I'll be saying hi. You guys have a stream later today, and I'll definitely be popping in and saying hi a little bit later. But anyways, I feel like this is going to be one of those titles that is a sleeper hit that does like what Something is Killing the Children did, where it just kind of came out of nowhere and then ended up being like that hot speculator book. I really think this is going to do it for a lot of people. So I really recommend you pick up Devil's Red Bride.
So as we've talked about before, we had creator Steve Orlando on, and we got on his mailing list for advanced PDFs and such. One of the books was one he was doing with TKO Studios called The Pull. We got the first issue of it. TKO has an interesting way of releasing. They don't release into shops, at least not initially, I don't think. So you have to order from their site, and you have the choice of either buying it as a trade paperback, graphic novel, or getting a slipcase set with all the issues.
Mm-hmm.
I opted to go with the trade paperback, the graphic novel of The Pull.
And from what I've seen is that most of the first trades, if not all, are $20. Which when I think about paying like with Marvel, you get for $18 4 issues a lot of the times. Like for $20 to get an indie title that has a brand new story in it, that's such a good pricing point in my opinion.
Also, like I have to like give TKO kudos. They put a pin and stickers in the box, which it's nice getting so little freebies. And the weird nice touch, so a day after ordering, they sent a follow-up email saying thank you so much for supporting us. Like it was a thank you letter.
Yeah.
Just for, buying from them. I was like, that's actually like a nice touch. Like it's cool to see a company do something like that. They're very active on social media also. Yeah. So this is a book that I'd recommend. The art style is very anime manga inspired. Okay. A little bit of DBZ kind of style to the art.
Okay.
The star of the art though is Triona Farrell, the colorist, because she makes Ricardo Lopez Ortiz's art pop. Like it's very heavy with the coloring.
Nice. One thing that I seem to really appreciate about that is that book came out on Wednesday, was released, or at least this week, and you got it this week. Because a lot of times,
the 9th.
Oh, the 9th. Okay, well, never mind.
Still fast.
I take
it was
that
still
back.
Fairly fast. But the book is basically it's a little tropey to a degree. That they've been abusing this power called hard heat, and it's attracted this thing called the Undoer that's going to destroy their planet for abusing it. So it's the push and pull, basically, of using this power. And our character, Brenton, he is a disgraced officer with they call them the Horizon. They're kind of like the super cops of this world.
I am the law. Sorry, all I can think of is Judge Dredd.
There's a little bit of everything in here. His ex-wife comes and she's saying, like, I can save the world if we do this stuff. It's dystopian, I guess would be the best word for it.
Okay.
There's some nice kink in here.
That's all you had to say.
After talking to Steve Orlando, you kind of get.
It's funny. I hadn't actually followed him on social media, and so I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and follow him on social media. And Steve Orlando is like the most adorable thirst trap. I'm not sure whether, I mean, I know that he came on the show, but and we talked to him, but if he watches this, just know that you're a thirst trap and you're amazing.
This book was very enjoyable. Like, super, like, I tore through it.
Okay.
Like, the pacing on it is kind of almost obnoxious at times, like, because it's just nonstop, just like, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to do this, which after reading Commanders in Crisis #2 that came out, like, you start getting what his style is, where he doesn't want many down moments.
I appreciate that, especially coming from, I feel like there's some stories that work better in trade and some that work better in single issues. And sometimes, depending on what reader you are, you may prefer different types of stories because of different types of, like, some people just wait for the trade no matter what. There's people like me who will go ahead and pick up every single issue. I'll pick up #1 or #2 and be like, okay, like, this is definitely going to work better in trade. But then my dumbass just picks up every single issue anyways. I definitely feel like his writing works well for both.
I felt this was a great read as a trade because you just keep chugging away. You didn't have to worry about unbagging and boarding the next book or just having to go pick it up. And so you just got to just go straight through. It took me about 25 minutes to tear through this.
Okay, that's not too bad.
No, I really enjoyed it. Again, like, the art might not be for everyone, but if you like the manga, anime style or influence, this has a little bit of everything. Like, even to a degree, it's almost Ghost in the Shell. Like, there is infiltration parts of it. Like, there's some maiming. There's some kink sex in it, where the ex-wife, has a strap on taking him from
some pegging. Beautiful.
Yeah, there was a little bit of everything. I know he's a big proponent of ass eating. That was not in here.
Oh man. Okay.
But totally enjoyed it. I'm sorry, TKO, if you didn't want that stuff out there about the kink, but it's in there. It's a good book. I enjoyed it. Order it from TKO's website, $19.99 for the trade, or $34 for the slipcase with the 6 issues in it. But I recommend it. Like, I think like 8.5. Like, I'm on it. But I love anime and manga, so like this totally was in my wheelhouse of like.
Would you say that if someone were enjoying We Only Find Them When We're Dead, or when they're dead, do you feel like someone who likes that title would like the pull?
I feel like they're different beasts, but if you like colors that pop, because that colorist on We Only Find Them When They're Dead deserves an award because of how much they make that book stand out. Cat meowing.
Oh my god, yeah. He's going nuts. Sorry, he's like wants to be fed. And then I have another one right here beside me who's my best friend right now. So totally distracting. If Rod is still watching, I feel like him, because on his streams his dog will bark and he'll be like, "Shut your pie hole." It's really adorable.
I think We Only Find Them When They're Dead's like got way more cosmic weirdness.
Okay, yeah, it does.
Like that's someone who's like, I really like Kirby books, but I want outer space. We only find them when they're dead, like that. I mean, that's totally like Celestials and shit like that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So yeah, like I recommend this book. Like, go pick it up, go buy it.
Cool.
Yep.
I'll see if my shop has it or can order it. If not, I'll go ahead and see if I can order it. The Killer Beast. I bet that puppy's probably like this big too. Alrighty, so on to the books that I got. I'll just kind of like speed through them. I did go ahead and same as last week, there were a ton of the Marvel Native American heritage. So these are the
something
Native,
voices.
yeah, so these are the Marvel these are the Native American Heritage History Month covers for these stories. I am not really reading a lot of these stories. However, I really like the titles, or I really liked the covers, so I went ahead and bought them. And then I liked that one the most, if you can see without my reflection getting in the way. But I did go ahead and let me see here. So I did go ahead and get Marvel Voices Indigenous Voices.
I love that cover.
And same here. Love David Mack, and I'll pick up like almost every cover that he does ever. This one was really, really enjoyable. You do get a moment between who were the two kids in New Mutants? Moonspell and oh my god, not Wolverine.
Moonstar and Wolfsbane.
Moonstar and Wolfsbane. Oh my god, thank you. Moonstar and Wolfsbane. You do get a story between them in here, which was great. I also ended up picking up Marvel Voices, the indigenous, or not indigenous, but the like barbershop cover. So I really enjoyed this one too. I feel like these stories in here were a little bit shorter, so the pacing was kind of weird for me, and these ones were longer, so I feel like I enjoyed this better, but still both really good. So Indigenous Voices, that cover by David Mack with our girl Echo, and then we've got Marvel Voices, that cool barbershop cover.
John, I'll totally be reading Sandman tomorrow before the show. Like I already know this. I'll bring it to work tonight and read on lunch.
Bunch of casuals, man. I'm just kidding. No, that's okay. So I was talking with Mars today, and she's like, I have a confession. I've been trying to read it, but I'm just not able to get through it. And I'm like, kind of understand that. It is like it's 8 issues. Sorry. It is 8 issues, so I totally get it. And honestly, Sandman just gets so much better the further you go into it. And I'm putting a little asterisk here and I understand. I hate it when people tell me that about shows. Whenever they're like, "Oh, you didn't like season 1, you've got to wait till like season 3 to really get into it." And I'm like, if I have to wait till season fucking 3 to get into something, but I will go ahead and say this: Sandman is great. Just dive into it. Just dive into it. And do all of it, all like 9 main ones, and then like there's the 10, 11, 12. So yeah. Alrighty, so next book that I have here on the top, You Look Like Death #3, which is Umbrella Academy spinoff of Klaus. Also another David Mack cover here, if you can see that. I've really been enjoying it, even though I've only really watched the first season of this show and never read the comic books. I'm actually really enjoying this. So I don't know if you caught that or anything that's going on with it. Okay, Engine Ward #5, solid series by Vault. They just do such good work with. I feel like they're really becoming one of my favorite science fiction brands. Shut your pie hole. Yeah, I've got two cats that are just, they are snack monsters. They really love their little snacky crunchies. They're my babies. So yeah, this one was a really good one. Frank at Home on the Farm, and I've got a copy for John. So I'll be sending you this, John, with a couple of other things. And let me think. This one was pretty good. It didn't fully resonate with me the same way that some other books from Scout have, but it was still pretty good and weird. I don't want to say too much about this one, but yeah. Let me go ahead and see. We Live, number 2. First story was really good, but it seemed like run-of-the-mill post-apocalyptic stuff. This issue number 2 really, I think, sets it apart from regular post-apocalyptic stories, if that makes sense.
I didn't like issue 1 enough to pick up number 2.
Okay, I still really enjoyed issue number 1. I feel like this one doesn't have, like, issue number 1 had that, like, Fallout guide to the apocalypse type stuff. This one didn't really have as much as that, but I really enjoyed it. For some people, I think this is going to be a really good trade, but, you know, I love spending
Okay,
that dumb
John, I'll check out issue 2.
Yeah. Pretty sure that you probably read this one, but Once in Future.
Yes.
Okay. Really,
Grant still owns.
100%. Whenever she's like killing the birds, like normally, if something like that was going on in a book, I'd be like, why is she killing the birds? But just the conversation between them and just like I'm like, man, Granny, I absolutely love. We need more titles like that. I would love to get a Once in Future with her history. Yeah, 100%. Like, I bet she would pull a real like Betty White on us, where she was just like a thirst trap in the 40s. So I really want to see Once in Future, Once in Back to the Future, maybe.
Grand story.
Yeah, once in Back to the Future is what I'm going to call it. Kieran, I know you watched the show. Hire me. I'll help you write Once in Back to the Future with Gran. Anyways, let me go ahead and see. Another one that I'm pretty sure that you probably read is Black Magic.
Oh, I did not get to read it yet, but
okay. More Granny, 100%.
Hey, what's up, Robert?
Hello.
Thank you for stopping in.
Yeah, seriously. So anyways, Black Magic, this one was the end of the arc. It's not going to come back. Greg Rucka, he does say that he wants to have a script ready for Nicola Scott, and it sounds like he's going to have that ready for her, and they're going to go ahead and try to get it out by end of 2021. So, but it was kind of like a meh, we'll kind of see. So I would say we'll probably get more issues of this probably late 2021, if not early 2022. So
I'd say at least a 6-month hiatus, because that's what they did last time.
In the back of here, he writes a letter saying it's probably going to be late 2021, but apparently she has a lot of stuff that she's doing right now, some obligations, so he knows that it's probably going to be pushed out. So I'm just going to go ahead and call late 2021, if not 2022, for the return of this. So look for, if you haven't already read Volume 1 and Volume 2, Volume 3, I think, comes out in like December or January, they said.
Sounds about right.
Another one that I'm reading, I completely forgot that there's like a naughty side to this. So, there's an not R-rated, it's totally X-rated. Like OnlyFans version of Faithless, Only Faithless. But anyways, Faithless number 2. I'm so conflicted because I really loved Volume 1. Didn't really love this one as much, but I feel like this issue did a lot more for me than it has been. So last one. Oh, at least single issues. And that's Death Metal 5.
Didn't get to read it yet.
I actually enjoyed this one. Finally, it's like one of those DC titles. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's weird. It feels weird to say that. Maybe it's because I feel like it's finally a lot of stuff is coming to a conclusion.
Scott Snyder finally got to nail an ending? What?
That's kind of what it feels like. So we'll see. I did pick up a ton of stuff from, not a ton of stuff, but 2 graphic novels from the comic book store, and then a couple of things from Powell's. So I've still got some more graphic novel reading to do. I don't know if anyone wants to see that, if you're just ready for me to talk into oblivion, but
do you remember last week when I said that there's probably nothing coming out Thanksgiving week?
there's
Boy,
a
was
ton
I
of stuff.
fucking wrong.
I remember. So here's the thing: is that I do remember you saying that, because I'm like, what? I have like 20 titles on my list that I'm getting, and I was thinking of this week, and then I'm like, oh, okay, the next week. But then yesterday I was looking at what's coming out this upcoming week, and I'm like, there's a ton of things. Like, it's going to be another, like, so what I got from the comic book store, I got all of this, and then I got um these two things. One, I got Prince and the Dressmaker, and then I got this one, which is called Silver, which is 100% X-rated. There's a lot of P and V and C and more C everywhere, and T and A, featuring a very diverse body shapes and sizes, very diverse cast as well as, and it's called Silver, and it's mostly older people having sex, so it's not just like young spry bodies. Like, it's older people having sex, which, you know, I enjoy sex positive books. And seriously, like, I can't even open this up on like, I'm not gonna do it, but it is seriously like, boy howdy, I wish that I could show you friends a couple of things. There's a ton. This is pure smut, and it's beautiful, and I love it. So I think that if anyone is looking for some sex positive books, I appreciate it, because I think that we need to see more people who are over the age of 30 having sex. Please and thank you. Lots of daddies and mamas. So anyways, Silver, little anthology.
Is it like some gilf porn?
Yes, it's yes, and it's queer, it's body positive, it is very diverse. Like, seriously, this was beautiful.
I'm 44 also, Rod.
100% would recommend, if you are a person who is over, I mean, granted, I'm about to turn 32 in a couple days, but I appreciate,
You spinster.
whatever. And that, you know, there's people who are probably in their 70s and 80s having sex in this book, as you know, as well as like some younger people too. So anyways, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I'm sure people know that I enjoy smut a lot. So it was really cool to get some smut.
Snow in the valley, fire down below.
100%. That if there was a tagline for this book, that would be it. And then it just, it's funny because the other
That's your online review.
That's my online review, is that there's snow on the mountaintop, but there's fire in the valley. So 100% here for it. WAP all the way. So anyways, Prince and the Dressmaker is like for kids. So it's so weird that I'm like getting these like two different books, but that's my brand, is just
palate cleanser.
A palate cleanser and smut. But I think the smut is my palate cleanser, to be completely honest with you, because I feel like the smut is
your Transformers My Little Pony fanfic is going to be a thing sometime.
Maybe I don't think that I could write like slash fic like that for anything that is like for any characters who are underage or non-consenting. Like, that's not my thing, and shouldn't, you know, whatever. So anyways, the smut is my palate cleanser. I really enjoy it. It's wholesome. Smut is wholesome. Thank you for everyone who stuck with me through that. Comic Book G Spot, thank you for saying I love her attitude. Yeah, 100%. I'm so glad that there are people who agree with me in the comments, because I love smut, and I love queer smut, and I love diverse smut. Just give me all the R-rated shit. But not like I don't want dick pics and stuff unless I say yes. But
talking to Steve Orlando about sounding, and then he's like, well, bussing is going to be in my next book. I'm like, I'm kind of curious about what that is. I don't know if I want to look it up.
I did also, let me see here, because I got a couple other books. Let me see here. I got this one called Lowriders in Space, which is, once again, very wholesome. It's like this friendship. Are you laughing at me?
The title, it's just so fucking weird.
It is. No, but like even look at this. It's like it's a dog and an octopus like in a car. Like this is the stuff I love. Like this totally is the stuff that like I don't know, whatever. I literally have like piles of books around me, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But I did go ahead because Powell's was having a sale, and then I think because Oregon went into lockdown, they were like, okay, we're not going to do a sale because, you know, coronavirus cases, as you cough off camera. Just kidding. So anyways, one of the last times that I went
Captain
searching,
Trips.
one of the last times I went looking for books, I'm like, you know, I feel like I want to read more Grant Morrison. So I ended up buying Batman Gothic
Not bad.
for a pretty good deal. I also ended up, it's on the bed because I'm actually reading it, but I got Wonder Woman Earth 1. So I'm going through that. Yeah, it is what it is. But then I also did go ahead and get Batgirl Year 1 too, just to kind of read through. And I did. Oh my God. Okay. So if everyone can hold on, I'm going to seriously, like 10 seconds, grab something else that I got, which was really cool.
She's never got 10 seconds. It's never 10 seconds. Ever. 9, 8, 7, 6. Oh, she beat it.
Okay. Sorry, everyone. I'm all hopped up on Mountain Dew. I'm going to climb you like a spider monkey. Okay. So anyway.
She loved Dead Earth. Dead Earth had an amazing last issue.
Okay. Did I enjoy Wonder Woman Dead Earth? Yes, I did. I really, really, really enjoyed Wonder Woman Dead Earth. We were talking earlier about what videos that I want to do next, and Wonder Woman Dead Earth is definitely a video that I want to do. So anyway, something else really cool that I got is I ended up getting Princess Leia #1. I got it used because I pretty much only buy these books used. I won't buy the I'm not going to spend $18 on this book, even though I love it. So anyways, I saw Mars, that comic girl who's going to be with us tomorrow. She posted on her Instagram a story that she got this from her library. And I'm like, holy shit, I just got this yesterday from Powell's. And when I got this book for $10 used, I open it up. It's signed and there's a sketch.
Oh, shit. Wow.
This is
awesome.
This is seriously like the third or fourth book from Powell's that I've gotten. That's a trade that's been signed by the creator.
Nice.
Sorry. I know, I've got I literally, okay, so if anyone's wondering why I have so much energy, because I know normally I'm like lower energy, I drank a whole bunch of matcha in my Starbucks reusable holiday cup because they were giving them away for free. I did also have another matcha drink earlier, and then I do have an energy drink as well. So brought to you by, so sponsor
I'll start getting like worried if you start talking like matcha. Look at this book I picked up. Yeah.
Get it, people. You know, if go to your whatever and buy it from Midtown, and this is gonna be such a hot book, fam. Thanks for being here, comic book fam. We got some hot books coming at you today. I bought this book for $300 and I'm gonna flip it for $500. That's me doing an impression of no one in particular.
Wow.
Sorry.
Sound like Jim Cramer from Mad Money.
Yes, exactly. This stock is hot, hot, hot. Buy.
Throwing dishes at the plates at the floor. Buy it now.
Pretty much. Sorry, I'm about to have a special visitor to the show.
So I'm looking at next week's pull list.
Hey, buddy.
Fuck. Coffin Bound Volume 2 comes out very quickly after the last issue.
Done.
Department of Truth #3, which I'm down for whatever conspiracies we go into next.
100%.
Probably buying both covers for Philadelphia 10.
Done.
The Jason Sean Alexander one is nice, and then there's J. Scott Campbell cover of Abigail Adams. I'm not going to be able to get it, but I kind of want it. Local comic shop day variants are coming out, and there's another Ice Cream Man number 20 variant for green eggs and ham.
Ooh, yep.
It's got an ice cream cone instead. There's an Invincible number 1 gold foil logo cover for that Monstrous Talk Stories number 1 gold foil.
Okay.
I know you're going to be buying this Mirka Andolfo's Mercy trade paperback.
Yeah.
I know you need to spend more garbage money on it. At $17.
$17 well spent, because I didn't spend enough money buying every fucking single issue and every variant cover I could get to just hate read the entire story. So yeah, for sure. I wish that I could go back in time and be like, Jennifer, just buy the trade.
There's a lot of I wish I could go back in time and shake the shit out of myself.
But I call it spending that dumb bitch money, and apparently I've got a lot of dumb bitch money to spend.
Of course, they're using the Art Germ variant for the cover for the trade.
Cover, of course.
Nailbiter Returns number 7 comes out.
Okay.
One that I'll probably pick up, and I know I shouldn't, but I'm going to do it anyway. Scumbag number 2.
You know, I think that this week, here's my thing, is that I think what happens is that I end up, maybe I will end up getting my comic books late. Like, I won't get them on Wednesday, and especially with my schedule shift next week, I may end up having to either get my books on Friday, or I'll end up having to go on my lunch break and go to the comic book store.
I'd say the show is Thursday.
So I'll probably have to go.
Or get your partner to pick them up.
Maybe, but if we'll see. I really don't know. I totally trust him to do that though, because he's like the fucking best. Seriously, homeboy for my birthday bought me a 12 Pro Max.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm very happy, but now I've got to one up him. I'm a petty bitch. I've got to do better than that for his birthday.
Expectations are set now.
Yeah, right. So anyways,
Scumbag 2.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, I think that I learned my lesson this week, not getting Stillwater number 3 and not getting Rorschach number 2. I almost bit, and then I'm like, you know what? No. So especially thinking that I'm going to have to, get all my comic books on Wednesday, read them Wednesday night to prepare for Thursday. I'm not going to buy anything that I know that I'm not going to enjoy. Like, it's literally going to have to be someone's like, Jennifer, like, this has some, like, queer agenda or something. Like, I don't know. Whatever trigger words. This is a really weird sci-fi story with smut and a queer agenda in order for me to buy it.
For those who like to flip stuff, Spawn number 312 cover C has Gunslinger Spawn, and for some reason when Gunslinger spawns on covers, they always sell out. I don't know why, it's just the thing. Tartarus number 7 comes out.
Okay. I really enjoyed that title. I know it's kind of like hit or miss, but we're right here. Shoot, any question. Or just come to next Thursday show and ask us questions, because I'll be drunk all day.
Well, he's got his show too. It's just late at night. And my schedule, I'm usually at work.
Mm-hmm. I'm on West Coast time, so it's a little bit earlier for me, but hit me up on Instagram.
Undiscovered Country number 10 comes out. I'm trading that book.
I followed that for most of the single issues for volume 1. Didn't enjoy it. Ended up, I think I missed the last 2 titles. Ended up doing the trade. Didn't like the trade, and I ended up reading that title, I think, during reading 100 graphic novels in 1 month.
Take care, Rod. We'll catch your show.
Bye, Rod.
Well, I'll catch you on the replay or lunch at work on lunch.
I'll be there live. But anyways, I ended up reading Undiscovered Country during my 100 graphic novel read, and I think that really broke me and made me not enjoy a lot of things that I would have otherwise enjoyed. So,
from Dark Horse, we have Colonel Weird Cosmogod number 2.
Yes, I loved that title. Loved that title.
There's 2 different covers. There's a Tyler Crook cover, and then there's the Lemire B variant.
I may end up getting both, because I think that Tyler Crook's artwork complemented the style of it, considering
It's got
like
pop circles for his kind of in for that.
Okay.
IDW, if you just like to throw money away, Snake Eyes Dead Game by Liefeld is out.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I'm like,
I do love to spend that dumb bitch money, but not on that.
Marvel, we're at that weekly Spider-Man book coming out. Like it's been like every week. Doctor Doom, which I've actually enjoyed.
Funny story, because earlier today, just right before the stream, I hopped on into the live chat for I Freaking Love Comics, who like seriously love those guys. Well, anyways, they said something about I said something about doom scrolling, and they're like, doom scrolling, like 2020 is pretty good. How are you, like, or at this point, this is like the good arc of 2020. Why are you doom scrolling? What's that? And I was like, doom scrolling is like an OnlyFans for Doctor Doom. So that'll be part of my OnlyFans with like Dr. Manhattan, Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom with just larger COD pieces, more technologically advanced.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Excalibur number 15 for Ten of Swords. I feel like we've gotten way too many of them. Let's see, Marvel number 2, which I don't remember if I got Marvel number 1. There's my read pile's out of control where I've like read stuff for the show and I'm like, I'll get to this later.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to be better in the habit of actually like reading stuff, but
Dr. Aphra number 6 comes out.
Yes, I've been loving Dr. Aphra.
That Jen Bartel cover that Marvel shared the other day looked awesome.
Mm-hmm.
X of Swords or Ten of Swords Destruction number 1. The local comic shop day Henricon variant of Magic. I want it.
Okay.
I need it.
If send me a picture of exactly what it looks like, and I'll see if my shop ends up getting it.
I will. Otherwise, there's a Peach Momoko variant with Summoner.
Okay, I'll see what's out and see what I can pick up.
But not much man ass on there. I guess they got it all out of the way.
No, that's in the interiors.
Oh. And then X-Men number 15, which the cover is awesome. It shows Reflection in the Sword of Annihilation or Genesis, whatever you want to call her. Also, there's a Peach Momoko Genesis variant as well.
Yeah.
Dynamite, we don't really read. And then we have...
Once again, I have to say this every time I bring up Dynamite. Dynamite doesn't have that many titles. They literally have like 3 titles, and they just do 10 variants for each one. Dynamite doesn't have stuff Dynamite wants to read. It's just fucking covers. Sorry, just had to get that little out of the way.
Thank you, G-Spot. That's...
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Dune House Atreides number 2 comes out.
We'll see how many... I was going to say, we'll see how many variants. So
there's a local comic shop day variant.
Ooh, I will see if I can get that.
It's foil.
Okay, beautiful. So
Lumberjanes also.
One thing that I would like to do is, because I know that we mentioned the Thursday Thanksgiving show, I'd like to go ahead and give some stuff away. I'd like to give away at least 1, if not 2, issue number 1s of Dune. So if you want to participate in our giveaway, go make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, and then make sure that you put on notifications so you can get notifications when we go live, and then you'll get a notification when we go live next Thursday, and you can get a chance to win whatever the fuck I'll end up giving away. I have 4 long boxes of stuff that I want to like do, so there might be some good stuff in here. We'll see how drunk I get.
Something is Killing the Children, number 1, local comic shop day foil variant as well. There is a Lumberjanes original graphic novel gift set.
Okay.
Something is Killing the Children, volume 2 comes out this week as well.
Cool. I like that they're doing that where the last issue just came out and then the trade, as opposed to waiting like 4 months.
Unkindness of Ravens, number 3 comes out.
So that means the Autumnal by Vault is also coming out, because those were coming out.
Not this week.
Oh, really? Okay, I could have sworn that was coming out too.
Well, not that it's there is a B variant to it that looks amazing.
For Unkindness of Ravens?
Yes, by Khalida. Let's see. Amped. Oh, Automol is coming out.
Okay, because those two came out at the same time. So yeah.
Bleed Them Dry comes out.
I think issue number 5 or 6, which is going to be the end of the.
5.
Okay.
Devil's Highway number 5 for me. That's the last issue. Dryfoot number 3.
Yes. Yep.
Dune graphic novel book 1.
You know, I completely forgot that was coming out,
So
and I need like this upcoming week is probably going to be like a $200 week for me.
A book called I Walk with Monsters.
Oh, that's Vault. That's a new one coming out by Vault. I don't know if that's going to be an anthology, but I kept seeing it. Let me see here. With my stacks on stacks on stacks.
Madam Satan second printing.
Oh, second printing. I thought you were going to say second issue.
No.
Because that was only a one shot. Yeah. So really quick, I Walk with Monsters because in the back of Devil's Red Bride, they have a little thing about it. In JC's past is the most important man who took away her brother. How JC has David, who sometimes transforms into a terrifying beast. Together, they found a way to live and to hunt, sniffing out men who prey on the vulnerable. Yeah, definitely going to be picking that up.
The Plot number 7.
Which solid title from Vault as well.
Sun Eater number 2 is finally coming out, and that feels like it came out like 2 months ago.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about.
I wasn't either.
There's another title by Heavy Metal that's coming out, and part of me is like, do I get it because I appreciate heavy metal? Do I not get it because I fucking hated Sun Eater?
Yasmin number 4 comes out as well.
Cool.
And
there is also, I think that there's a Gut Ghost title coming out next week. Ghost.
Didn't see it, but it might be. I might have just blown through it.
Well, that's Scout Comics, so it would have been maybe like with Yasmin.
And from DC, I'm picking up the Sean Murphy White Knight Harley Quinn.
I didn't catch number 1. I just saw Harley Quinn. Is that the same one?
Yeah.
She had the babies on the cover,
yes.
And I'm just like, do I want to pick this up? And I'm like, no, not really. I didn't pick up number 1. Not going to bite on issue number 2.
Dark Knight's death metal multiverse Who Laughs. Like it's too much. Various writers and artists. DC Nation presents DC Future State, the free copies, which is the preview of what is going to be happening.
I am so seriously though. I'm still trying to wrap my head around what they're doing with Future State. Like there's some things that are going to be 3 issues, some things that are going to be 2 issues, some things that are going to be 4 issues. And I feel like I almost just want to be like, just add one of everything to my pull list because all of them look so good and the creative teams look so good.
The Other History of the DC Universe by John Ridley comes out.
I saw that. It looked pretty interesting.
Last God number 10, which is a title I love.
Man, I feel ashamed that I didn't pick up on that title earlier because I have heard nothing but good things.
They're not putting out the trade until the series is over. It goes to issue 12.
Okay, so probably sometime in April or May, we'll see a trade.
From there. Detective Comics, of course, I'm going to get the Liber Mayho covers because I love his art.
Of course.
Hellblazer number 12 comes out, which I thought that was ending.
Maybe this is the last issue?
Could be. Justice League Dark, I'm still like hit and miss on that book. Legion of Superheroes number 11, which I have not liked at all since Bendis. I'm not a big Legion of Superheroes fan. Red Hood number 51, which I'm sure Mars will be happy about because for some reason Jason Todd is her thing.
Yeah.
And another amazing Joshua Middleton cover for Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Weird he went from the NYX artist to like where his art was kind of not great to like this amazing cover artist. That's pretty much it for what is out or coming out. and I'm hoping to catch up on some of my reading since I'll have 2 days off in a row.
Nice.
But I have 180 pages of Dune to read. So.
Oof. Better get to it. I have the next couple days off, so I'm excited about that. Even though it means like a huge disruption in my schedule. So we'll see kind of what streams look like in 2 weeks from now.
Yeah. Also, yeah, I should bring that up. Jen's schedule's changing, mine's changing, so we're probably going to be switching days. We might be back to Friday shows again.
I think Fridays, because it looks like the after Thanksgiving week, it looks like I have 2 weeks where I have Friday off in a row. So it may stay that way. It may not. But unfortunately, I now work much later. So unable to coordinate with you East Coasters, but I can coordinate with West Coasters.
Jen and I will be updating our Instagrams when we have time changes, so that way everybody's kind of in the know. So give us a follow.
Yeah. Like and subscribe and turn on notification bells and comment. I don't know what else you're supposed to do. Subscribe. Just subscribe. Just subscribe.
Yes. Do it.
Do it. One thing. I'm going to go ahead and say it here. Because of course tomorrow we're going to be doing Sandman. So look forward to that.
3 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah. I'm going to try to finish a thing for it, like either an intro or something. I've got like a little movie thing. So we'll see. But what I also want to do is...
I tagged Neil Gaiman. I got nothing again.
I'll go ahead and do it and just kind of throw out my birthday. He's a November baby, so like we'll see what we can get done. If anyone's in Neil Gaiman's ear, just see if he wants to join us to talk about a book that he did like 30 years ago. Well, over 30 years now. But one other thing that I'm doing is this hot mess of a bookshelf behind me, I might take down and rebuild, and I'm going to see if I can do that tonight and before tomorrow.
Rebuild it.
I think I can do it. All I need is like 2 more energy drinks.
You had the technology.
I have the technology, but the good thing is I don't actually need to go and read Sandman tomorrow since I've already read it. So I'll probably still read it again. But
yeah, I need a refresher, and I might try and take some notes, which I never do, except for when we had the Rodney Barnes interview.
Yeah.
And Elysium Gardens back this week.
That I'm very excited about. I'm really, because this should be the last issue of the arc. So hopefully we can...
it's 6 issues, so it'll go 2 more issues.
Okay, because
Rodney's gonna come back on again.
Yeah, because he's a friend of the show. He's watching. Rodney, we can't wait to have you back on. I really want to figure out what's going on with Angela Davis because she's one of my favorites.
And that weird little reveal that they had in the last issue with a certain historical character that opens yellow eyes.
Yup.
Okay, we're over the hour and a half mark. I have to start getting ready for work. I'm trying to be really good about we're not going over an hour and a half, which of course, sometimes we're really good, sometimes we're not.
I feel like I end up whenever we had Rodney Barnes on the on the episode, and it was like not past an hour, and you know that was a really fun episode. Go and watch it to see why.
Unless you're.
So anyways, I feel like I get to that point where after an hour and a half, it's like my neuropathy starts kicking in, and I'm like, I can't be sitting down for more than an hour and a half. So
get one of the standing desks.
I have a standing, because my partner also works from home. So we've got a standing desk, but I'm not using it. So I may have to steal that standing desk.
Sorry to paint. Okay, everybody. So we're gonna head out. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Comic Book G Spot, thank you for coming on and talking with us. Interacting, because again, I'm barely ever home to watch your show. So thank you for stopping in to say hi to ours. One of these days, I'll be off when you're doing a show, and I can actually pop in. And if we can get my schedule, Jen's and everything to work out. Otherwise, Jen's usually around at night. You could probably get her since she's West Coast. The time change.
You say that, but like Cinderella, if I'm not in bed or know my plan for bed at like 8:30, 9 o'clock, I turn into a bitch. And I'm saying like more of a bitch than normal. So I'm around, but I'm bitchy.
Well, that's the fun part.
Yeah, that's true.
You get real catty.
Always.
So join us tomorrow for the live stream for Sandman and see if I'll be able to get us to not talk over each other. I'm very guilty of that as well.
Yeah.
And Thursday we'll be drunk giving away stuff. And yeah, I don't know what we're going to talk about. Hopefully I'll have stuff read.
I'm committed. Or should be committed. Either way. And like I said, I have a ton of stuff to give that I think that I want to go ahead and give away. So we should be doing things like that. Come on, buddy. Come on. What are we doing? Sorry. So I'll have a whole bunch of stuff to give away, and we'll be giving away stuff. I'll be drunk giving stuff away, so who knows what else I'll have.
Mars will be drunk.
Hopefully, one of my favorite people. I absolutely adore her. So like I said, we'll continue to say, please like and subscribe. I'll have cats.
And, if you have nothing going on for Thanksgiving like I do,
Yeah.
and stop in, say hello. I'll try not to get too drunk.
I will try to make up for how much you don't get drunk.
I said try. I don't do very well with promises. So we will see you next broadcast. Bye-bye.